It's your boy, Skinny Penis. I we used to say that with my ex. Probably said that a couple of times. God, I have love for her. You know, I think emotional intelligence is when you grow up and you come to find that you mostly have love for everyone that's left your life. You still have love for him. You don't make it too bad. You don't make it something that eats you alive, but there's love there, right? There's not that many people I don't love anymore that things went sideways with and we don't talk anymore. There's a couple narcissists. Aside from the narcissists, it's just like, nah, it's just love. It's not what I'm here to talk about for once, though. I'm here to talk about some really cool shit. Actually, you know what? This is the time I'm doing it. About a year ago, I was pretty surprised. I was pretty surprised to get back into uni because my ears were hurting, literally physically hurting when I heard loud sounds, and I was pretty down about that. I was actually extremely down. I was very depressed over the summer. Had some suicidal ideation. Had to take antidepressants to get over it, and now I'm singing. Now I'm singing, and he's my friend. Honestly, a friend of mine um, put together a little page on his website with a picture of me holding a microphone like this with a bracelet on my wrist that I wore when I was like 8 years old, and then never wore it for 15 years, 16 years. And there's a cable wrapped around like that. Uh, and there's big headphones on my ears because, I still have issues, but I'm on fucking stage. I'm on stage at the cafeteria at the university where I study now, and it's a cafeteria that is very significant to me. It's the cafeteria where I bonded with people that, yeah, oh, actually, yeah, several people that ended up being super important to me, and important things happened there, and I played a concert there, and I'm gonna play another concert there, and I was with my friends Juliette up on stage, and somebody else took a video, and I made a snapshot of that video, and there's that fucking picture. When you click on it, it takes you to a link tree that's like my YouTube, Spotify, Bandcamp, fucking everything. Probably not Bandcamp actually. Like I need to update it, but he found it. I didn't say anything. He dug through the internet to find that link tree, and he put it up there so it would look good and professional and whatever. And he's doing my publicity for me. I didn't even ask for him to do that. You know? And I'm like, still not fixed, right? Like I wake up in the morning and it's like your life. It's a fight. We all have our burden to carry. My burden is this thing about the ears and the mental health stuff, and I was gonna say relationships with people, but who doesn't have burdens with that, right? We know some people have some great relationships and stuff, but all of it is work. All of it is work. All of us must work to some extent on it. This is candy I bought like 2 years ago. It's probably not good anymore. Um, but yeah, a year ago when I arrived at school, right? It's funny. It's probably when I got home that night that I made a Key Smash episode. So I'm remembering it now. But I was hanging out with Luana and Martina, and I felt so loved. the reason I felt loved is they love me, they listen to me, they value me. Um, Talking about that bubble in time, right? They care about my interests. They remember the things I say. They're just good. They're just good. And and so I feel seen, and we're talking about Cameron, we're on the street, right? And now fast forward a year, and I've played a concert, a small concert, but a concert with Cameron. And I've played Dream Brother by Jeff Buckley, which is the first Jeff Buckley song I ever heard. At a little, you know, um, bar that I love here in the city, and I don't I don't hang out with them every night, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I don't desperately need anyone's undivided attention. I realize, and I realized through time, through therapy, through listening actually to other people, and seeing that what I need is not only to be listened to but also to listen, that I can't really be independent as an adult, that probably um in my childhood something left an imprint on me, like something made me feel like I was being abandoned, that developed all this fear of it now, that is no longer realistic as somebody who's turning 25 in almost 2 months, and who's not really afraid of it anymore, and who doesn't mind being called 25 now. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to be 25. Like, there's some shit I don't have time for anymore. And I have anxiety about more important things, you know? Today I went thrifting, and you have some time to yourself, right? When you're looking at the window, um, up at the blue sky, or up at the cloudy sky, on public transportation. And I just thought, like, oh man, like, what about those things I did? What about those shows that were too loud? What about the consequences? Will it ever be the same? Can I ever deal with those things? And I was like, it's not, it doesn't work like that. And it's kind of, it makes you a little euphoric when you realize that you're always running from something that doesn't exist, and you're also running towards something that doesn't exist. Your goal of perfection, of fixing, like, if I could finally just have this little minute different detail that I think I really need, then I'd be fixed. Then I'd be, if I could gain 10 dB, if I could, go to shows that are 10 dB louder than the ones I go to now, I'd be like, no, no, it'd be something else. And now I can just be at the back and have binoculars or whatever. I don't have them, but I could do that. Like, there's, all you need to do is have a good life. All you need to focus on ever, when you wake up in the morning, is like, oh my god, I'm grateful I'm alive today. Let's have the best life I can possibly have. And you don't, the rest, it doesn't exist. The life you could have had, or you think you could have had, but really you don't. I was talking about this with MJ, and that's another dope thing that's happening. Um, just conversations, honest conversations with friends, true friends, not idealized friends, not people you want to have around because you can't live without them. Or you can't bear the thought of losing them. Well, she told me once that anxiety is a cocky thing. You think you really know what's going to happen, even when it's negative. You're like, well, if I do this, then this bad thing's gonna happen, but you don't. You don't know. Nobody ever knows. So it could be a good thing. And I have my own ways of seeing anxiety. I have my own thing about, um, maybe someday the good thing you were waiting on happens to you and you go running on the street, you get hidden by you get hit I said hidden. You get hit by a truck and die, and it works all the ways. It works all the ways you could think of and can't think of and shouldn't think of, because really you have to live. You have to simply live. But so what I was telling you about me having friends in the city and just seeing, I didn't say this yet, but I'm gonna say it now. Like the antidepressants that I said I had to take back then started to drop my anxiety level, and so yeah, I guess it's been a minute, but and this channel is not supposed to be about that, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. It's made my anxiety better, which made my pain better, and I could finally see my problems as challenges to face rather than some to keep me down. I was like, okay, I agree to my problem. I agree with the challenge. I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna stand up, and um, you're not gonna be the thing that takes my life away from me. Uh, in an anxious sense, like you're not gonna be the thing that I pretend grants me a unhappy life forever, because that's what anxiety is. It's that voice telling you this one specific thing equates to you no longer being able to have the life that you thought you ought to have. Because otherwise, you problem solve. You fucking look at the thing and you do what you gotta do. And by some sort of miracle, which I might call courage, I partially, and I've never been prouder of myself really than right now, and it's only the beginning. I partially dealt with that. I've been dreaming of being a singer for 10 years, and I have to admit I am now. I played 3 shows the past 6 weeks as a singer. No instruments. I didn't touch anything but a microphone. You know, some of it I even did it without a microphone. And actually, I joined people. On Friday, we sang 5 people, 5 singers in the classroom, and we just sang like songs with a bunch of magic chords and shit like that, and it made me feel like a singer. I didn't think about it at the time because it was so natural actually. So I guess I'm leaning into that role, and I like it. But it was like it actually made me feel like a fucking theater kid, and I loved that. Because I've been trapped in that stereotype of being the guitar guy forever, and I've been hating getting CDs about, like, oh my god, best Guitar Kings compilation and whatever from my family from when I was like 15, 16 years old. Like, oh, that's what he's into, we'll get in this. And I couldn't explain it or be seen as legit, or even I think be legit, because I was actually a kid who was into guitar, and I just wanted to be everything at once, and I hadn't had the time yet, and I was also kind of shy about my art and about singing and stuff, and for whatever reason people took me more seriously as a guitar player, and that's just the way it was. That's the truth. um, but yeah, I mean, I sang this summer because so much happened that I didn't talk about. It's so funny. I wanted to get back into playing guitar. I basically played for the whole year. So in May, it's now October, I was like, okay, I'll play a lot, and bad idea, and how those things go. I get flare ups, I get better, I get worse with my pain. So I just stopped and I fucking sang. And I fucking sang all summer and I visualized myself. Like, I didn't do it fucking every day, but I did it more than I ever did it. And I forgot to even tell MJ that when I told her about my summer because it was so normal to me, I guess. I don't do it as much anymore even, but it's just a thing I do now and I'm not scared of not warming up before I do it or whatever. I make it a process. I make it my fucking rat park, you know? It's like instead of running away from the negative thing, I'm running towards the positive. I'm running towards the light in a major, major fucking way. And I sang 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 and I pretended like my window was the audience. I pretended like everything was a stage, and I jumped on chairs, and I had an actual mic or a bottle to fake a mic in my hand so that I'd feel something, or I had headphones with the headphone mic, just to pretend, and it worked. It helped immensely to pretend. Fake it till you make it absolutely fucking right. Absolutely right every step of the way. And I wrote songs. I wrote a song in the water, one of my favorite songs I ever fucking wrote. And I'm gonna be graded on it this year because my teacher is gonna hear it, and he's a professional that mixes some of the biggest artists in the world when they come play live in the city. And he might mix that song for free for me. And I might just only fucking sing on it. And everybody else, talented musicians that I met towards the course of the last couple of years, are gonna provide performances on it, including Cameron that I was talking about with my friends on the street 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Holy shit! But like, just everything coming together. By the way, I'm not the only person that has that bracelet, and that's so fucking weird. But so many synchronicities and so many things that I realize probably don't mean that there's any God, probably don't mean that there's any UFO, probably don't mean that there's any higher power, but I realize now that I'm making a choice to see the symbols, and I want to lean into that. I want to lean into the symbolism of my life because I'm tired of being tired. When I wake up in the morning and I'm tired of being tired and not appreciating the gift of life to its greatest extent. I want to read about philosophy and find systems that can further help me help myself. And I think what I'm doing is remarkable. I think I could have broken 1,000 times. I think literally 1,000 times because how many days? How many days did I live with depression? Maybe 2,000. 2,000 days with depression? Yes, you can break for half of them, because at least half of it is going to be really fucking severe, especially the kind I have. And did I break? Depends what you call breaking, but I be here, I be talking about it. So I don't know. I'm proud. I'm genuinely proud actually, and it's pretty big for me. And I'm setting boundaries, and I'm not the same anymore. I think people change, and I think Luana told me, hey, people never change unless they're faced with loss, and generally they just change once they've already lost something that they can never get back, and they see the price of that, and that inspires change in them. Maybe she's completely right, but it's funny, I'm not sure where the change is coming from, you because when I uh, oh yeah, I'm not sure. I'll think about it. When I lost Isla, I really thought that I was paying the ultimate price because they were my friend. They were someone that I had so many different feelings for, but I admired them, and um, I, I cherished the friendship, probably above all, and um, I wanted it to keep happening. It did not, it could not. And I thought that it's funny how we think. We think that grief is automatic, so we think that loss is going to make us better. I definitely thought this. Um, I never said this. I never said this out loud, even to myself. But I know that I felt this way because I did not work on myself actively at this point. I definitely let myself reach the bottom, and I tried to have connections with other people, and I tried to just go and live my life. And it couldn't work this way. I had to make some work happen, and I had to keep digging. I had to keep losing. Actually, I had to keep having really difficult times until May of this year, where I felt like I was losing some of the most important people to me at once in a similar way, kind of fucking again. And I didn't want to stay this person, I think. So maybe I started giving myself finally what I actually needed. And I'm so sure that a version of me I've been thinking about again, this 2016 kid, would actually be very proud of me if he saw me now, and if he had some time to understand um, what it is we actually went through. Like if he just spawned here and looked around the room and looked at my YouTube subscribers or took a listen to my music, he might not be proud. And that's a crazy thing to say. I'm sure he'll like it actually. But if he talked to me at all, if he talked to me for 5 minutes, I shouldn't even doubt that he'd be very proud of me. And more and more, I sort of wish that magic was real. I sort of wish that I could go back just to hug him and tell him that it's going to be okay, because it is. And it's been really hard for him between then and here. It's been a minute of hotness. The fire was up his ass. I'll tell you that. I love him so much. I don't think I saw that before. I think I was mad at him. And I think those energies come right back at you. I think he would have been mad at me. I think now we'd be friends. And some days genuinely like the clouds really disappear. Like I sit with friends and it's not that I forget about my problems. I'm sure they live somewhere. I do believe in science. I do believe in, I mean, everything. Trauma gets stored in your body, in neuronal systems and stuff. It's somewhere. And when I'm on my own, it shows, but it works. This life, it works. It's building up, it's leading me somewhere. I have to trust. I have to trust because it's actually doing pretty okay. And it's like, there's stupid things that I care about. Genuinely, I walk on the street and I hear clicks in my ears and stuff. I've been feeling this since I was 16, and then it went away for like almost 10 years. And it went back in May. I don't fucking know why. Dude, a lot of stuff was happening in May. Like, it might be stress. And similar things happened right when it came back a couple weeks ago. So maybe I don't have to think about it so much because I'm actually pretty certain that it will be gone at one point in my life. So all the time I give it to be anxious about it doesn't make any sense. And also, if it's not gone at some point in my life, it's gone at some point in my death. And I hadn't been scared in a very long time about dying, and now I'm starting to be a little bit. And I like that because it's a natural thing. It's very human. And same thing, like, I've been having cycles about that. I've been terrified of it for almost 10 years, and then I did a little drug, and I was not scared at all anymore. And what's the reason I cared so much about dying? Well, I was afraid that I would never be with my ex. And then we sort of were together, sort of weren't. I do call her my ex, so I guess to me we were. Probably because of the love I had, not necessarily because of what I think of her or the nature of the relationship. But I stopped being afraid, and now I am just like when I was in. I don't know what I felt. Just like when I loved her. So I'm loving something. I'm loving someone. I know I love me, and I don't really have dumb crushes that crush me anymore. I I appreciate people. I see their value. I see their hotness. I see how lovely they get, how lovely they act, how lovely they are. But I've been suffering from that for a long time, because I just was very sensitive, and I would want something from that beauty. I would want to be with whoever I had a crush on, and it was intense, and it never worked. And I think I know why. I think it wasn't. There was too much fear. There was too much fear, and now I don't. There isn't as much. It's everything. It's a system. I think when you're better with yourself, it goes better with other people. Everybody knows this, and it's so funny. It feels more and more like this is all a big prank by God, and we all really know everything that we find along the way is something we've heard somewhere. We call it different names. We find like, oh, I'm anxiously attached, or oh, I have codependency issues, or oh, there's this trouble or this trouble. But we know, you know, we know to live today for today, and we know to not let worries ruin the day, and we know to give what we have to give. And I'm so excited. I'm gonna give gifts to my friends that I've been talking to over the internet for 4.5 years, and I've never actually met. And I picked out fucking John Frusciante CDs for these kids, and instead of picking out the really expensive ones I wanted to get them, I'm giving them ones that I had spares of, and they're perfect. I thought about it today, started being anxious about it, like who should get what and what. Fuck that. You know, I wasted time yesterday thinking about that, and today it just arrived to me. I was like, no, they're getting this. This is great, and they'll love it, and I'll love it because I don't have to spend any more money on it. It's already nice. It's already a good touch, and I'll have like fucking French food and whatever. Like, what more can you ask for? For me, I mean, and for them too. But it's like I mustn't even try to make it better. It's great, and we know you will forget all of this. You can remember it whenever you like. It's those Sanskrit scriptures, right? Like, I can't tell you any of them because I know them all. And you don't remember the things you know. You know what I mean? You don't have to remind yourself all the time about specific properties about Earth, what temperature water freezes and stuff. It's not in your mind, on your mind all the time. It doesn't have to be because you know it. You know what I mean? It's under the surface and it serves you, and you can pull from it at a moment's notice when it's required, when it's important. Uh, Wondering what else there's to say. I guess I started this video to just tell you I got somewhere. I don't know who I'm telling. I'm telling you 10 years ago. I'm telling the audience. I'm telling me in the future. I already did something. I don't know what my goals ever were, you know? I wanted to, like, I've been writing this shit down for 15 years. Like, when my history teacher asked me when I was 9 or 10 years old what I wanted to be or do when I grew up, I wrote, I want to be a rock star. And I'm not a rock star. And I don't think I want to be one. Um, but there's my fucking face on a website where you can get your ticket for this show where I'm singing and I'll be doing my songs with a musician helping me out because I'm a star. And I don't want to be fucking bothered to hurt myself performing physically with my wrists because they're hurt. And I need to get back to the physical therapist and do tests and do a bunch of shit, and I haven't fucking done it yet. And guess what? That's okay. Like, it's actually all very much okay. And I'm scared. There's still fear that I can't fix this. There's still fear that I can't reach thresholds where I'll be able to do this thing professionally, but you gotta understand that I basically do. Like, I'm setting up a life where I'm doing this. Uh, I don't know. It's all in my head. It's all bullshit. All the traps that could be set to prevent me from doing it. It doesn't compute. It doesn't work, man. If I want to have a band with real drums, there's plastic panes or glass panes or mostly plexiglass shit you can put in front of the drums and drastically uh, reduce the volume. There's electronic drums. I can be in another fucking room. I'm better than a year ago, and for an entire year, I've been going to shows. I've been going to shows more and more. I've been performing, I've been singing, playing bass, playing guitar. I did stand up comedy 3 times. Like, semi crowded room, very loud cheering and shit like that, and mic pops and whatever. I lived. I didn't hurt my ears a single time. Like, felt a little blocked one time or two. Felt reactive tinnitus a little bit. Like, I can build something. There's so much of my time I have, and there's so much time I still give to screens and whatever. If I mean, if I continue to convert this time into a better use of it, I'm unstoppable. I'm great. I'm good. It's terrifying, but it's true. I can actually do this. And if it won't work out the way that I want it to, where I can have, you know, amplifiers and a drum kit and careless people around me and not adapt the world to me, but adapt myself to the world, I'll play folk music for the rest of my life. Dude, I don't give a fuck. You think I can't? What do you think? Like, who do you think I am? You know, like, shit. I'll 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 have another job. I'll have a career in something completely unrelated. And I'll just be a recording musician. That's kind of what I want anyway, for my shit, for my music. Now, this just matters for the band. Whether I have a touring band for my own music that I write, or I want to actually make collaborations with people. And this is something that I'm very interested in. And this is something I've felt forever, that I wanted to be like John Frusciante. And as long as I don't try to be him, I definitely fucking want to be the guitar player in a band and have my music on the side, because I'll be fucking dancing if I have my solo project. You know what I mean? Because now I kind of feel like I want to dance, actually. Legit, like fucking dance and sing and hold the microphone at the same time or whatever. I'm not gonna be playing piano and guitar and all at the same time, like, and switching instruments. Like, fuck that, you know? So, nah, I'm gonna find something. One of those things has to work. My solo music, guitar in a band, other entire job, selling carnivorous plants. I don't give a shit. Like, something's gonna work, dude. I'm not fucking worried about that, actually. What am I worried about? Am I worried about living under a bridge? That's never gonna happen to me. I have the insane privilege of being able to say that will never happen to me, no matter what happens. The fuck am I afraid of? Yeah, dude. Not trying. It's the only thing I'm afraid of. And I think I look at my life these days. I can tell I am. I am trying. Even a day like today, I really didn't make that much music, but I wrote a fucking song. I wrote a song. I'm working for future me. I wrote a song. I'm getting better at writing songs every time I write one. I hope. And I went and bought CDs, and they were not expensive. They were on sale. It was 50 cents a CD. Just absolutely goated. Um, so I got songs for Jane. Songs about Jane, I guess. For 50 cents. bunch of other stuff. I actually already had it. So I went out because I felt bad and I needed to find something to do, but I read a bit of my book for school on the way, and I walked. That's good for my health. And I got a baguette so I could eat some healthier food than McDonald's. I did all this. I worked on a project for school. I communicated with my band. I communicated with my musical collaborators for the concert. Got a good picture of me, and I liked the smile that I had on it. No, I didn't really make music, but I sang. I sang on accident. I sang on habit. The end of the affair, the weight of war, the kindness gone to bed. That's quite low, but I actually sang it higher earlier. I sang it in E minor, and it's just I feel like I'm organically being pulled to where I want to go. Again, it's about trust, it's about letting go. It's about keeping myself present. Presence. Jeff Buckley had a presence to him. That's what people say. Presence can also just mean you're aware. Being aware is everything. If you're aware, then you are trying. There's not really any being aware and letting yourself wither. I don't think you make that choice. I think you're aware, and then if you see something that seems too big, too terrible for you, your awareness sends you to disconnection, and you're not aware anymore. And you do some declination. How would you say that? You do some occurrence, version of derealization, desynchronizing. Cutting out, and you cut yourself out. But if you're aware, you're flowing. Everything is set up for you. How can you fail if you're yourself? If you simply give life? If you play the game, there's no losing the game if you play it. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not a game with clear rules. It's a game that probably ends, but it's a game with no clear end. So it's just up to fucking you. It's just up to fucking you, and hopefully you can find threads you like and just follow them and go balls deep. And nobody can fucking tell you what to do. And you figure that out as a young adult. You finally see that everyone around you and everyone that's ever been around you, all just grown children, you know? The end of the after, the weight of war. kindness gone to bed. Huh? Fuck are the words to this? Well, we're gonna have to do it.